just one of those salt things.
Yeah, you got it. Ready?
Ah! Did you get it?
Yeah, I got my arm. Yeah, I got my arm. Yeah. No, I got it.
I think you
why was I standing right in front of me?
I was like, I
think you should start the video with that interaction. Just that fucking.
What, me getting hurt?
Yeah, getting shot by the salt.
It'll probably start, but.
Yeah, that's how you drive.
Otto's trying to get me killed.
Die.
It was a mistake to get in the Corvette. So we're going to Bad Cat to see the S2000.
Yes. Because I need a fast car. I also need a fucking shave. I am so bummy. I got this Joe Dirt fucking beard and this mustache that just shows all my age, bro. I look like a dog with like gray muscle or gray chin and crappy haircut. I haven't had this much. I've had a lot going on though. I have.
You do have a lot going on.
I have a lot going on. And I'm doing it for you. You people. Yeah. People, you guys are gonna see we got a lot of content coming, a lot. And some of it is Corvette stuff. Some of it is Civic stuff. Some of it is S2000 stuff. Some of it is truck stuff. Yeah.
Truck stuff?
Truck stuff. Yep. We got truck stuff coming. Truck stuff. A wooden roller coaster that flips upside down. You're not sure if you're gonna live afterwards because it's so shitty.
He's comparing between the C8 and the S2000.
Yeah, C8 is like a guided missile. Like you point at it and it's gonna go someplace. S2000, you punch it. Oh, my turbo S2000, you punch it and it just acts like a fucking asshole. And it's an AP1, so it literally has a plan that at some point it's going to try to murder you in your sleep. You could actually not be driving an AP1 and it tried to kill you. This is the truth. So this is like they should call it Bat Cave Engineering.
Bat Cave Engineering?
Yeah, because it's like down this random ass fucking road. It's like a dirt road like this. I think I'm gonna be excited to break my S2000 with this fresh paint down this road. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna suck. Here we are at Bad Cat Engineering.
Hello.
Hey.
Good to see you again. So this is Bad Cat Engineering. It's a little shop. So high performance fabrication shop. Mainly specializing in rear wheel drive Hondas. So that'd be
Fixing broken shit.
Fixing broken shit, yep.
Fixing broken shit. NSXs, S2000s, and Nissans, but mostly GTRs. So, but we do a little bit of everything. As you can see, kind of got a few different cars in here. Got Lexus RCF, Lexus Prelude, a couple NSXs, a couple S2000s. We're packed to the brim earlier this week, but we got some cars out, so we kind of missed that spot. But anyways, it's my business partner Justin.
Hello.
Put on your best acting voice.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
NSX is literally my fucking least favorite car ever.
Why?
That car's cool though. It's modern.
Which one?
My NSX. Here, we'll check it out real quick and then we'll walk outside. It's all modernized.
Does it have CarPlay?
Does it have CarPlay?
Does it have CarPlay?
No, of course.
No,
Not modern.
I've turned the radio on in this car twice since I've owned it in 6 years.
It's not modern. There's no CarPlay.
I don't listen.
But it does have the dope out Blitz wheels.
I love the Blitz wheels. Yes.
If you know what that is, if no one, you know what that is. Obviously, this is your car, right? But that's a fucking badass piece. That's a top fuel oil cap. I don't think I've ever seen one in real life.
There's one there.
Can you look over there real quick?
There's also one of my S2000.
You have one in your S2000?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, but no, this car's like this one's a 91. I'm sorry, this car's a 92. Drive-by cable car, but it's actually been converted to drive-by-wire. So that's what all this stuff is. Pedal position sensor, modern electric throttle body. So it removes all the factory idle control valves. Has R35 GTR injectors in it.
R35.
R35.
Yeah.
So that is modern because it's got to be from 2009 at least.
Yeah. It's super easy to drive.
But the question is, does it have CarPlay?
I've turned the radio on twice since I've owned this car.
You're not answering the question.
No, it doesn't have CarPlay.
There you go.
But I don't care.
Okay.
I literally do not listen to the radio in this car.
Dude, you can't say it's modern then. How's that for unscripted?
That's some old CAD for you.
This is old CAD. This is cardboard aided design. This is how we used to do CAD in my day.
Try and true.
Yes, and it works.
It always works.
It always works. Look, he got a Jenga game. Jenga. Just in case you want to play a game of Jenga.
Jenga.
Yeah. I mean, you can try pulling one out.
I'm not fucking doing that.
You get one out, I'll be very impressed. So it's pretty stock interior. It's got the Nismo gauges in it, which is cool. The Nismo triple gauges, Nismo cluster. High model car for what it is, but it's super clean. Like everything's in good shape. Paint's in good shape. Body's in good shape. It's rust free. It's complete. RV26 because it's GTR. Yeah, again, it's fairly stock. Added the titanium strut tire brace, and then saw some shiny carbon fiber bits, so I bought that. But the plan for this car is nothing super crazy, just a good solid street car.
I have a question.
I have an answer, maybe.
Is it gonna have CarPlay?
Well, it was a 1983 RX-7, and then I ruined it and cut everything out.
Yeah, this is actually not a car anymore. It's a fucking two-frame something.
It's yeah, all chromoly chassis. It'll be a 25.2 cert, which is good for 6.5 seconds. I don't know if the car will go that fast, but it'll be safe to go that fast. K24 Power Glide, S476. The front suspension, the A-arms are out of NC Miata with a custom subframe. And then in the back, it's got a 488 4-link, and everything to go along with it. You can see all that under here.
So you know what's cool about the 8.8? It's like the cheapest rear diff that you can get. That's like motorsport friendly. You know?
Yeah, people are like,
oh,
why not put a 9-inch in it? Like, this thing's not going to make enough torque, to break an 8.8. And it was what I could afford at the time. So this is another 83 RX-7. Well, it was. The primary thing I took this one apart for, this is a running and driving car, was I wanted to put an S2000 subframe in it. And if you kind of walk back here and look at the back, you'll see what we got. I cut the whole trunk out. Sorry to all the purists, but it has an AP2 S2000 subframe in it. All the fab to make that fit. And then an RX-8 6-speed trans. And then it still has a 13B naturally aspirated rotary in it. So you can walk up there and take a peek of that.
So you were telling me about the intercooler setup. You're gonna do
well. I will eventually. Yeah, it's not going to be turbo initially. It's all built with an NA header right now. But I designed an intake manifold for it with that billet plenum. Working on designing a serpentine belt system for this Gilmer drive pulley to run AC on this. Has a vintage air HVAC box, so the car will just be modern. The front subframe is out of a FC RX-7, so it has a steering rack in it. And yeah, that's the idea for it. Yeah, I love these cars. I love the way they look. I love the engine. I hate everything else about it. So I ripped all of that out and replaced it with modern components. And
but does it have CarPlay?
It won't. No. Yeah.
You keep saying modern, and there's no CarPlay in this place to speak of. This is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. Did you make this?
I made that. Yeah.
Wow.
Like polished titanium is kind of our shtick.
Yeah.
So we really enjoy the material and also the luster that it gets when you polish it out.
So you guys have a couple things in common with me, and that is using the software called Fusion 360, something I use on the daily, and you use it as well.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you use Fusion for in the shop?
Literally everything on this car was drawn in Fusion. I actually modeled the whole back. I 3D scanned it, and then I modeled the entire rear structure of the car. I still lined up the subframe on a chassis table, which is just how you get it square to the car. Scanned it, designed it, and then cut it on this plasma table, and then put it together like Legos. So did with that, the intake manifold, all the flanges I designed, and the plenum, and then sent that off to a company called Xometry, had it all machined. And then yeah, all these little 3D printed brackets that are being mocked up currently for the AC. All of this is sent off to the machine shop right now. So come back and build aluminum, finish out the rest. So cool. Yeah, here's the prototype for the intake manifold. So just 3D scan the engine to figure out placement of the plenum, and then just mocked up the runners to figure out how much material to order. And then you can see the intake trumpets inside, and it's all kind of some weird stuff in there right now. But yeah, modeled all this, sent it off to be machined. And then the other file would be for the back of the car. So there you can see the scan of the rear section of the car, and all of these sheet metal panels designed and individually put in there. And then even if we, let's see if we turn off some stuff, we can make the tubular structure show a little bit more. Yeah, so underneath it shows kind of the mounts here. All of this just designed in sheet metal, and once again put together like Legos, and yeah, it just kind of fits. So
Cool.
yeah, that's how all that works. Yeah.
What's really cool, it's actually probably better seen from that side, is all the tin work. So all the tin work was all designed in CAD as well, which is where you use that large plate cardboard to like do that normally. But then like it was all designed in CAD, all cut out on the plasma table, and now you can see like how perfectly it fits. Like everything's perfect. And, all the tin work back here fits almost perfectly. That very minimal like fit up or whatever, and so like it just works. It's nicer. It saves a lot of time, so you can actually be more efficient with your production rather than wasting a bunch of time. So like what might have taken us like 7 hours before now will only take us like an hour and a half. So in terms of production environment, it saves a lot of time and allows you just to work on more stuff rather than being stuck in and just like having to do stuff manually. So there's that.
This looks good.
Yeah, silver bronze is weird. It's a from a metallurgical standpoint, it melts strangely.
I can see the welds are there's a lot of penetration. You can see all the heat marks, right?
Yeah,
it's going through.
Yeah,
but the color is just different, and I don't think it's terrible. I think I like it.
No, it's the material. So silver bronze is silicon bronze, so it's not steel. It has a this is actually what's called TIG brazing, where you still use a TIG welder, but you're using the TIG welder as more of a heat source than an actual welding source.
Yeah, you're not going to. Well, there's filler in there.
Yeah. Well, so the silicon bronze is the filler.
Okay.
But because the sheet metal is so thin, it's very hard to actually weld it. You can weld it, but it's very difficult. So the silver bronze has a lower melting point, and so you are like literally brazing it together, which is just a different process of welding, but it's a lower temperature.
Right, and it also looks like it took the heat. Like you guys have to control the heat, and you did a good job because it's not all warp and nasty.
Yeah, well, Justin did a good job, but yeah, you have to. It's just a different process. Silver bronze just requires a little bit different kind of finesse than welding does.
Anyway, so this is boring. Can we look at your S2000?
That's fine. Follow me. But it's a 2008 model year, so again, nothing super crazy. Interior is pretty stock. No, it does not have CarPlay, so it's not a modern car.
Guy.
I do
a CarPlay kit for these cars.
I do, and again, I don't care. This car's already.
But we're not talking about you. We're plugging our YouTube channel that a guy makes CarPlay units for these cars, and I know that guy.
He's standing right. I was gonna say standing right behind you, right?
Yeah.
But it's a super basic turbo setup. Built everything here in house. So. Built the exhaust manifold. It's got a Garrett G25 660 reverse rotation turbo on it. Polished titanium intake and charge piping. This setup we decided to do a water to air intercooler instead of an air to air. keeps the intake track real short for like real nice response. I do a lot of backroads driving, a lot of mountain driving, so the focus was not necessarily making a ton of top end power, but really just having good fast torque response. So this car is fairly mild, but compared to like a lot of turbo cars, well, I don't know. The numbers don't make any sense if you're not familiar, but I tune on a low reading dyno. So on like base pressure on gasoline, it makes like 340. On ethanol, base pressure makes 400. Ethanol on like 20 pounds of boost, it does almost 500. If you scale it up to like a dynojet reading, which everybody's familiar with, this car is close to 600 at the tire. I don't really drive it at that because I don't need it. Again, it's just there if I want it, there to see if I can do it. But other than that, it's not that crazy of a car. It just serves a purpose and a need and a goal. And it's just a fun driver's car. You know, enjoyable. Put the top down when it's not 1,000,000 degrees and 5,000% humidity. So this car is like we try a lot of stuff on our own cars to develop it in terms of products, because we don't want to sell a product that sucks to a customer. So we test out ideas on our own cars first. But it's a modified intake manifold. So we actually enlarged the plenum capacity because the runners are actually very good. And everybody's like, oh, you need short runners to make a ton of power. It's actually a fallacy. Because the way that these runners are, the actual effective RPM is something like 12,000 RPM. So they're actually too short anyways. But they're what fits in the car. So if you buy an intake manifold, it's got shorter runners than stock, shit sucks. You're just gonna lose power. Don't do that. So we tested this manifold. So it's got larger plenum capacity. It has a J37 throttle body on it. Just gotta crest the hill because and then you want to go fast, just switch it down.
This would be version 2 of his initial kind of prototype for the enlarged plenum for the S2000 manifolds.
So you're saying this is up to date, which means the modern one?
I'm not going to throw that word around anymore after the beginning of this conversation. Either way, you can see here compared to a factory-sized plenum, basically just increasing the plenum volume by a significant amount. Showed pretty good gains on his car, so we decided to develop it further. This one I cast myself in the backyard of the other shop that we were at. So came out kind of janked up, but it kind of a proof of concept. And yeah, but this is just a S2000 manifold, and then the drive-by-wire flange welded on. So
yeah, pump works.
Time that time.
Yeah, it'll probably start, but.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us over.
You guys
Carl?
should do the thing like MTV. Get the fuck out.
No, get the fuck out. Yeah, what is that?
Crib.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, kick us out.
Huh?
Kick us out.
Get the hell out of the damn shop, please.
You gotta put more
Please.
enthusiasm.
Please. All right, everybody, get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm out. The horse.
What? Horse farm? What?
Yeah, it's the horse. We're gonna have a lot of splicing to do in this video.
Horsepower farm.
Horsepower farm. Horsepower.
I was getting distracted by horses out here.
Horses. Horses.